If you have ever wondered how collage makers are made, this is the right video that you have come to. I'm going to create collage maker in 30 minutes. So let's get started. For this project we will need Django Rest Framework and we are going to use only serializers of this and mix it into the Django. Then we need OpenCV Python, then Skit images, and y'all can check the code. It is already present in the description below. We'll start by creating the virtual environment. We are going to activate the environment. Then we are going to start by installing the packages. So I'll install Django, then I'll quickly copy this. We'll copy this one and then we'll copy this. So now the installations are finished. We'll start by creating our app project first. So it will be Django admin start project. I'll call it as src as always, and then we'll navigate inside the project. We'll create our app. So I'll call it as demo. So start app demo. Then we are going to go to the source. Inside source again, source settings, and we are going to start by configuring our path. So we will have templates folder. So I will give template underscore dir. This will be base directory slash templates. This I'll put it as small caps. Then we also have media URL and media root. So I'll give media underscore URL first. This will be slash media. Then I'll give media root. So media underscore root. This will be base directory, and then we'll have front slash, and then it will be media front slash. Okay, we'll quickly install this template directory in our templates. So it is done. Now we'll install our app. So it is demo, and then we also have Django Rest Framework. So it is rest underscore framework. So our settings.py is ready. We have to go to demo and we'll start by creating our view. We'll do all the imports right now. So since I'm going to use serializers, so from Rest Framework I'm going to import the serializers. Then from Django.http I'm going to import the JSON response, and I'll create the next file and then we'll import that later on. So we'll start by creating our serializer. I'll call it as multiple image serializer. So I'm doing this because this will help me in reducing the effort of validating the data. That's why we are doing this. So serializer.serializer, I'll call the field as images. This will take in serializers.list field, and then there will be a child serializer. This will be taking serializers.image field. Our serializer is ready. It will do all the validations. We'll create our index function. So I'll call it as index. This will take in request. This will render only the HTML. So I'll quickly do the return render, pass in the request, and I'll pass index.html. So we'll create this afterwards. Now we'll create our endpoint that will take in all the images and validate using the serializer, and then pass it to the collage maker that will return the link of the collage. Okay, so let's do that. So I'll call it as make collage. This will take in request, of course. I'll do serializers. Actually, let's do serializer because that will mess up with these serializers. And we are going to pass in this multiple serializer over here. We'll pass the data as a request.files because that's where it is, or none. Okay, so now we have serialized. Now we'll try to get the validated data from here. Since this is not Django Rest Framework, so we will need to put it into try and accept and return JSON response if there is any error. So let's do that. Try serializer.isValid, and this will do raise exception as true, then accept exception as E, and then we are going to return the JSON response over here. JSON response, because this is Django and not Django Rest Framework, so that's why we have to use this. I'll put message that some error occurred, and I'll also pass details along with this. So I'll give details, and this will be, I'll convert the error E into string, and since this is error, so we are going to return status as 400. Status as 400. So 400 is the response code. Now we'll take all the validated data and pass it to our create collage function, and that will return us with link. So I'm going to use the link over here. I'll call this as create collage and we are going to pass in serializers dot validated data, and I'm going to take the images from here. So what I have done over here is given all the request files to the multiple image serializer that will validate and raise any exception if there are any present in the uploaded files, and then we pass the validated data, that is images, to the create collage function that will create now, and that returns us with link, and we are going to return this link to the user. So it will be return JSON response again, and I'll pass in over here link. So link will be this link. So let me create this create collage function now. We are going to create a new file for this because I want to keep that separate. I'll call it as collage.py, and in this we are going to start by doing import. So I'm going to import the C, then we are going to import the settings from Django. So from django.conf import settings, because this will help us in creating the link. Then from pil import image. Actually we haven't installed the pillow, so we will need to install the pillow, so let's do that later on. So from key images we need to import IO, and I'm going to declare two variables over here. So image underscore width, that is the maximum, this will be the resize width. I will give it as 1920, and then we have image underscore height, this will be 1080. Now we will have the function itself, that is create collage. So I'll call it as def create collage. This will take in the images which we passed from the views, and first of all we have to start by iterating over all the images and like reading them into ski image. So I'll call this as images, it will be list, this will be for img in images, okay, and this will take io.im read. So basically we are reading the image, and this will be the image. Now we are going to use cv2 to resize our images to this particular height and width. So let's do that. Images again, and this will be cv2.resize resize, yes, this one, and we'll pass in the image first, and then we will have to pass image width first and then image height next. Then this is for image in images, and then I missed to close this bracket, so I have done that now, and there won't be any bracket over here. Now our images are resized. Now we are going to check if the length of the image, that is how many images user has uploaded. If user has uploaded more than 2 images, then we are going to have 2 rows. So on the screen you all can see the example of what I'm saying. So let's do that. I'm going to check if length of image is greater than 2. I'll keep it pass for now, and then else will be there, and otherwise we are going to horizontally concatenate all the images. So I'll say concat images, this will be cv2.h concat, and we'll pass in all the images. So this will automatically concatenate all the images in horizontal. Let's come back to this if condition, and here we are going to divide it by 2. Okay, so what time it is, like the number of images that user gives, we'll divide it by 2, and then we'll create 2 rows of that. So I'll say half will be the length, so length of images divided by 2. So this will give me a integer. Now we are going to take from 0th image to the half image and concatenate it horizontally. Then we are going to take the other half and concatenate it, and then we are going to take the horizontally concatenated both the images, and we are going to vertically concatenate it. Style resize, so it will be h1, I'll call it as, because it is horizontally concatenated one, and this will be h concatenate the images, and images will be from 0 to half. Okay, and then we are going to copy quickly and paste it, and this will be called as h2. This will be from half till the last. We are going to take both these horizontally concatenated images and concatenate them vertically. So it will be concat images will be cv2.v concat, and this will take list of images. So list of images is h1 comma h2. So this will give us vertically concatenated images, and then after this we are going to form array by making use of pil image. So what I meant is image capital image dot form array, and we are going to pass in the concatenate images. After forming this image array, we are going to save the image. Okay, so to save, I am going to have image file name. So image name, I'll call it as sj.jpg because sj is my name, and I'm going to do image will be equal to image.convert and convert it to RGB. Okay, so it will take this image and convert it to image, and it will be stored in this same image variable, and we are going to do is save. So image.save, I'm going to use f string over here, and we are going to take the path from settings. So settings, it will be media root, that's where I want to save, media root, and then after that I'm going to pass in the image name. So this is the image name, and we are going to return this image path. I meant image name. So return image name. So quickly I've done all these imports, taken the max, declared these two variables, created this function called as create collage, which takes in images. Then I read the images and resize them by using CV2, and if the length of the image is greater than 2, then I make sure to have like 2 rows of images as collage. That is done by dividing the images into equal half and concatenating the first half horizontally, then concatenating the second half horizontally, and together we combine them as vertical. Otherwise, if the image is less than 2 or equal to 2, then we combine them horizontally, and then we have only one row. Then we use a pill to form the array of images and convert the images as into RGB, and we save it in this particular path and return the image name. And in views, we just have to import that file. So let's do that. So from collage import create collage function, and which returns us with the link and which we return to the user. Our main backend is ready along with the create collage function. We just have to create our URLs for both these functions. Along with this, we also have to create our index.html, which will allow user to select the images and upload them to this display the new image and display the collage image. So let's first complete our urls.py. So in source file, we are going to urls.py, and we are going to load the index function on index. So on blank path, I mean, so it will be views.index. I know I have to import this view, so I'm going to do that. So from from demo import views, this is our app name and this is the file name, and from file load this function on blank path. Then I'm going to create one more path, so it will be path, and it will be make collage / and it will take views dot it is make collage. So let me check the function name, make collage. Yes, don't forget to put a comma over here. And since we are loading the media file, so we have to do configuration for that also. But before that, let's do the import. Okay, so this will be from django.conf.urls.static import static. Then so after this, we are going to go to URL patterns and create our static pattern. So static, this will be taking settings.media URL, and then we are going to give document root as settings.media root, and I have to import these settings. So it will come from django.conf import settings. Let me quickly fix the spelling, media, actually both places. So our urls.py is also ready now. We just have to create our index.html. For that, we will have to create our templates folder first. So let's create that. Templates, all should be small templates, and inside this I'm going to create index.html. So index.html. In HTML file, we are going to have bootstrap styling and also use Ajax to dynamically load the collaged image and show it to user. So styling part will be not part of the timer, but the main logic of this will be in the timer part. Okay, so let's start by creating our file. So it is doc type, and then I'm going to import the bootstrap CSS. This will be file, I'll call it as file upload Then inside this we are going to have a div, and I'm going to do all the stylings later on. Okay, so div, and inside this first we'll have a label. I'll call it as upload file. So if you have seen my previous videos, this is almost, the styling is almost similar to old videos. Okay, so we are going to have import type will be equal to file. I'll give ID also of equal to file, and then we are going to have multiple, since we are allowing multiple of them, except only images. So image slash star, and then on input I'm going to call a function that will create after this, that will be preview. Close the input, and then after that we are going to have a button that will say submit form or make collage. So I'm going to create that button now. So button, this will be type equal to submit, and on click I'm going to call a function upload file. Okay, and this button will be called as make collage. So now let's quickly create a preview and upload file functions in JavaScript. But before that, let's import the jQuery files. So in the body, this is how we import. The code link is already present in the description, so y'all need not worry about this index file. Y'all can copy as it is. Then we are going to create the script tag. I'll call first function as upload file, that is the main one, and we are going to start by creating a form data. So where data is equal to new form data, because this is what we'll be uploading, and then we'll have where URL. So what is the URL? It is make collage on front slash, it ends with front slash, and then we are going to pick up all the files, that is where files, and this will come from $input hash file. Actually we can take it directly, but let's do input as well. So input which is taking ID of starting with file. Okay, so this, we need to select the 0th of that and take in all the files from there. So what I have done is select the input tag which whose ID is file, that will be this, and take the 0th one from there because it is an array, and take all the files from there, and then we have to iterate over this. So it will be for I equal to 0, so 0, and then I will be less than files dot length, and then I plus plus, just old normal for loop. And then inside this, this is semicolon, and inside this we are going to append the file into the data. So data dot append, I'll call it as images because that's what our backend is expecting us to send, and this will be files of that iteration, that is that I. Now after this I'm going to append the CSRF token. So this will be CSRF middleware token. Oh my bad, this will be middleware, and this will be CSRF underscore token. After this we are going to do the ajax call. So it will be $.ajax. This will be taking in method. So method will be post, then URL will be URL that we have created on top. Then after that we are going to process data as false. Then there is content type, we'll pass it as false. MIME type will be multipart slash form data, and then data will be data. Then on success there will be a function. So I'll call it a success, and function will be taking in res, that is response. This is comma over here, and then we are going to take in the response and do json.parse again the response, and after this we are going to extract the link from that. So I'll call it as src, and this will be /media because we want to preview the image that we just made collage of, and res.link because that's what we return from the server. And then let's keep it here for now, and also handle our error function. So comma error and this will be function again, and I'll call it again as res because short form of response I call it as res. And then we are going to do alert and something went wrong. So our upload file function is ready. Let's close the function, and then we are going to have create a new function called as preview. So function preview to preview the images that we just uploaded. So for that we will be iterating over all the images. So I'm going to copy it from here and paste it. The only change over here will be instead of appending the data, we are going to use that to create object URL and append it to the HTML. So URL will be URL dot create object URL, and I'll pass the event.target.files I. Okay, so this will create an image URL for our image, and we are going to select a new function. I'll call it as the div. It will be id, so the div, and I'm going to prepend. So prepend our image. So it will be image img, that is, and id will be we don't really need the id, so we'll skip that. I'll do the styling part as well later, and we'll have source. So source will be the source which we created, so it is the URL, and then we are going to close the image. Okay, so that's it. Our preview function is also ready. Let's create the div in the HTML. The div will be outside the other div, so oops, my bad. So div, and this will be id equal to the div, and close the div. After this, let's have a model so that whenever the collage image comes from the server, we can preview the image in the model itself. So again, the styling part will not be the part of the timer, so let's create the bare model itself. So it will be div with class of model, and it will be fade, then id will be preview model. You know what, instead of doing all this, let me copy it from the Bootstrap website itself. So let's go to the Bootstrap website. I'm going to use 5 point. So let's go to the doc and search for models examples I need. So I'm going to copy this model. Okay, and let's go to the code and paste it over here, and we are going to use this id instead of the default id that was provided by Bootstrap. Then properly space it, and this looks to be correct. Instead of this, I'm going to give preview collage. After this, we are going to remove the footer buttons because that is not what we need. We only need this close button, that is fine, and we need the body. So in the body, I'm going to create an image. In the body, I'm going to create an image, so it will be img, and id will be collage image, and img-fluid. Close the image. I'm going to do little adjustment in this because I want to look it to be full screen, so it will be model-xl extra large, then model-dialog-centered because I want it to be centered. Now let's use this model to preview the image as the server returns us with the collaged image. So I'm going to go down to upload function, and in success over here, first of all, we are going to select the image tag. So it will be since it is id, so a hash collage image, let me check it. Yes, it is collage image that we are using over here. And then of this, I'm going to change the attribute. Attribute will be the source attribute, and that will be the new source, that is this path. Okay, and after this, we have to actually make the model visible. So I'm going to do that, where I'll call it as my model, and it will be new bootstrap.model, and it will take here actual code on the Bootstrap website is in JavaScript, but I'm using jQuery over here. Okay, so I'm going to select the preview model. So preview model, and then we are going to show that. So my model.show. So our main code and functions are ready of the index file. Now let me quickly do the styling. Now that our styling is done, let's try to run the server and create collage and check if it works or not. So I'm going to expand this, clear Python. Actually, let me check, where am I? Yes, Python manage.py run server. Oh, before that we forgot to install the pillow, so let's do that. Pip install pillow, because for images we really need that. Oh, it is already installed. So Python manage.py run server. Oops, there is something bad in urls.py, so let me quickly fix this. Actually this we can do something like this, and let's check if it works or not. Okay, so it worked, but there is still a warning, media must end with a slash. So let me change that. That is, in settings.py the media URL should end with front slash. So let's go to this link, and this is how it looks. Let me select some images. I'm going to select all the thumbnails that are created over the time. Okay, so first we are going to try with 4. Oh, something is wrong, because there should be preview should be working, and uncaught syntax. Okay, let me check that. In index.html, this over here, the file selection should be this should be in one quote, and this should be over here. So let me copy this and paste it above also, because in upload file also we have used the same thing. Sorry about that. And let me restart the server. Quickly go over here, refresh the page, and there is no error. Let's try to select some images now. 1, 2. First we'll select only 2 images. Okay, and these are the 2 images, and if we click on make collage, oh, something went wrong. Internal server error. Let's go to the VS Code terminal and check what error occurred. Oh, so it says there is no such directory. Let's go in the source and create folder called as media. So it should be media, media. Okay, and restart the server. Let's refresh, select images again, and 1 and a 2. Wonderful. So this is one image that we got in return. So if you go back to the VS Code and check the media file, there's only one image, and this is that. So let's try to upload multiple images now. So instead of just 2, we'll select 3, not 3 actually, but that will give some error. We'll try to select numbers in multiples of 2s. So let me refresh this page once. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I want this 4, and try to make collage, and there we go. This is one collage that was made using all these 4 images. So thank you guys for watching this video. Please do subscribe to our channel, like this video, subscribe and share. See you in the next one.